So today, I have a question for you, and it's a $50 trillion question. It's an exercise that I use to gain clarity, I guess you could say, on what I'm really doing, what I'm doing with myself, what I'm doing with my life, who I have myself surrounded with. A $50 trillion question is easy. It's just, what would you do if you had $50 trillion and really sit with it? Most people's answers don't actually answer the $50 trillion question, even though they think they do. And that's the beauty of the question. Because most people think that, well, I don't know what most people think, but I'm just saying the way that I thought when I first asked myself that question is, well, what's the first thing that I would do? Well, I'd buy a house, I'd buy a farm, I'd make sure that, all of my family was well taken care of. I'd have multiple businesses, right? I'd build myself this amazing studio. So, but no, I already have those things because I have $50 trillion. So I've already gotten all those things. I already have whatever car I wanted. My family's already secure. My business is funded. Everything material is handled. So then that's not the real answer to the question. So you have to keep asking yourself the question over and over again to come to the root of the answer and what you would actually do with yourself. And so then you start stripping it down. You start stripping it down to, you know, what is it you really want to do? What would you write? What would you create? Do you want to teach people? Do you want to study physics? Are you interested in consciousness? Are you spending enough time with your family that you want to? Um, and then I think it's important to also say, it still might be, a material thing. Like it still might be cars, but the answer to the question is, maybe that you love engineering or you're super passionate or interested in aerodynamics or materials, or maybe it is that you want to design something that benefits the world, something that's faster, cleaner, more elegant, and that's what you're passionate about, right? And so that's different. One of them is consumption and the other one is creation. And that's the point of the question, is to strip away the consumption side and to just answer that for your mind. The $50 trillion question, it strips away survival and status. And what's left is direction. So here's the real question: what would you be with $50 trillion? What would you amplify with $50 trillion? It's really, what would you do with $50 trillion? And the question you have to ask yourself is, are you doing a version of that right now? And if you're not, then why? And you don't need $50 trillion to begin moving towards your real answer or your clarity. Um, I like the question because it strips it down and it forces you to ask yourself the real questions of what it is you're doing and what it is that you want to be doing. So ask yourself the question and don't let your mind escape with the answer being the material things.